get in there again. Hopefully we survive. I mean, they could have drawn another Doomscar Devastating Mastery here, I'm sure. Ooh, you're saying there's a chance. Let's go. We're in Diamond, baby. Let's freaking go. Dude, Boros Exile Tribal for Diamond. Let's get it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and thank you so much for clicking on today's video. In today's video, no permanents on the battlefield are safe because we are going to be sending everything, and I mean everything, to the Shadow Realm. We are talking about a Boros exiling tribal list. But before I dive into this fully, if you are new here to the channel and you find any value in today's content, I just ask if you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button. It is a free way to help support the channel. And if you're already subscribed, maybe hitting that like button, that also goes a very long way, and I'd appreciate it so much. With that being said, let's talk about the list, get into the gameplay footage, and we'll come back here for some final thoughts and a more in-depth analysis of the deck. So today's simple. Like I said, exiling everything. That's the idea of today's deck. Any sort of permanent that hits the battlefield on our opponent's side of the field, we're going to be exiling it. And not only exiling things, our things are going to be getting benefits from exiling. Kicking things off, we're talking about Stonebinder Familiar. This is kind of the card that's the centerpiece of the deck. It starts off our aggro and our damage very early, and it gets very big and out of control quickly, because what it says is every time it's our turn, once a turn, we get to put a 1/1 counter on this as long as a card has been exiled, right? Which is all we're going to be doing here today. So we get the Stonebinder Familiar down on the first turn, and then from there, it's just going to continue growing and getting out of hand. We're going to be exiling with a bunch of different effects. Not only are we going to be hitting our opponent's permanents, but we're also going to be exiling our own cards for some card advantage. So on a turn 2, we could go with the Reckless Impulse. It's a 2-drop sorcery that allows us to exile the top 2 cards of our deck, and until the following turn, we could play those cards. So that right there is going to trigger a Stonebinder Familiar, which is pretty sweet. It also gives us a bit of card advantage. Another one is Showdown of the Skalds, another great way to get card advantage, but at the same time, this is going to exile the top 4 cards of our library. We could play them until the following turn. So there's 2 really creative ways to exile things and also get the Stonebinder Familiar a trigger, but at the same time, you get card advantage. So that's pretty sweet. Now, the rest of the deck is pretty simple. We're just hitting our opponent's permanents. We're trying to exile them, at the same time building a board presence and smashing their face and kind of tempoing them out. So we've got, the full play set of Skyclave Apparitions, full play set of Brutal Cathars, full play set of Borrowed Time. It's a full play set of everything, which is kind of crazy. It doesn't typically happen that way, but it did today. And then we have a full play set of Portable Hole. This deck attacks mono white and a mono green like aggro like crazy. This deck eats those decks alive. Decks that we're going to be struggling against are going to be mono black and control, right? Because those are going to be 2 decks that don't exactly have a ton of permanents that you're going to want to hit. Mono black has more targets you can hit than like a Azorius Control, obviously, but you don't really want to use a 3-drop to hit a Shambling Ghast or Eye Twitch. It's just not a whole lot of value. So we had to throw in things like Elite Spellbinder, which is going to help against those matchups because it's going to take our opponent's hand, and we're going to be exiling a card which hits our Stonebinder Familiar, and they're going to have to pay more for it. So hopefully we can hit their sweepers, buy us enough time, get a little aggressive, hit their face for the win. We've also got 4 Spikefield Hazards. This might seem a little strange, but it is a 1 mana, hit something for 1, and it gets exiled. This is going to help us with mono black. With Eye Twitch and Shambling Ghast, we can hit them for 1, and they get exiled, so they don't get the learn effects or the treasure tokens, whatever. And Stonebinder also gets a trigger. So a lot of synergies here. The only card that's not super synergistic is going to be Luminarch Aspirant, but it's too good of a 2-drop not to include in this deck. And especially if we're trying to get aggro, if we drop a Familiar, we find out we're up against Azorius Control, we're going to need to get Aspirant down to hopefully get some damage in as fast as possible to get him dead. And the lands are as follows. We've also got 2 Cave of the Frost Dragon for some quick over-the-top end damage if we kind of slow down with the card advantage. But very fun deck. We actually were able to grind into Diamond with this thing. You're going to see our Platinum to Diamond run. So I hope you enjoy it. We'll meet back here at the end for some final thoughts. Peace. All right, everybody, come along with me on my final push to Diamond. It's been a long journey, I can't lie. It's been a very grindy journey, but we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna pull it off today with some Boros. This deck has been doing absolutely phenomenal for us in the last bit of this ladder climb, but we'll take you guys with us on the final bit to to diamond here. This is an interesting hand. I'm kind of a glutton for punishment when it comes to the mana problem here, but I'm gonna take it. We have 2 familiars. I'm hoping that it can take us all the way, and we do find land. That's huge. That's huge. That is big time. If we can find one more, that'd be great. That's a lot to ask for, though, I'm sure. Oh wow, we really did. Okay, we found it. All right, we got a question to ask ourselves. So do we want to play the familiar? Yeah, I think I want to go with yeah, I'm gonna go with the familiar. It's a little more setup than the aspirant, but it is what it is. I think we'll be all right. We don't like when mono green plays the ranger class, just because it's not a permanent and it doesn't count as an exiling permanent, and these don't get the pump, which kind of stinks. This, though, on the other hand, is a permanent. Is a great creature for us to grab. Getting the double pump. Boom, we take the lead in damage. Gonna need to see some more brutal cathars off the top, or sky claves, or borrowed times. Those are going to be very important here in this matchup. I feel like we're gonna see an old world troll here. I don't know why. They're definitely using up all their mana here, or potentially close to. Okay, so they trade out. That's honestly, that's fine. We're gonna steal this again eventually, so we'll get some value out of that. There it is, borrowed time. Perfect. And that does count as a permanent again. Like I said, the wolf token did not, so these wouldn't have gotten pumped up had they gone the other route of taking a cauldron familiar. All right, looking good, man. We're looking good. Another prowler, man. They're really going for this prowlers. They're trying to get their discounts here on their spells, but let's go see what exactly it is that they're trying to get a discount on. Let's take a look. This puts my familiars at 4/4s. All right, abundance. That's the most dangerous card, I think. All right, so these get another pump. They can run right through our friend the prowler here. We're gonna give this to the spellbinder because blocking in the air is gonna be tough for them to do. It's gonna be tough for anybody to do, really. And I think we got him. I think that's it. They don't block with the prowler. Yeah, that's gonna be GG's. That was a clean little victory right there. Mono green and mono white are gonna have the biggest trouble with our deck, just because we, you know, all the exiling and whatnot. GG. Let's go. That was super clean, man. Hopefully we can have another one like that. We just 1 game away, man. 1 game away from that diamond slot. Once we're there, I will feel so much better. Something about hitting diamond just makes you feel so much better, man, because you know you can't go backwards. You can play around with the, you know, with some different builds and stuff like that, and not be too concerned about, you know, losing too many games. So I'm just super excited, man. We're looking good, but we're up against, it looks like, a Azorius control potentially, which Doom Scars are my worst nightmare. Professor Symbology. Okay, what are we gonna learn here? Going for environmental sciences. I would love to play this so it doesn't come in tapped, but I think I'm gonna play this. Maybe. Yeah, I think I'm gonna play this because I think getting more card advantage is going to be very, very important here. And we get 2 decent cards there. No attacks. We'll take care of that professor through some sort of exiling effect. I thought we get a little better over here, but we can only use 1 of these cards. Let's see. Another professor. That's tough. Okay, so we're definitely going to use the Skyclave Apparition on one of them, and then we can get him with the other. Did they miss the land drop here potentially just to play that professor? Let's find out. No, they definitely have it. Okay. Definitely had it. I hate losing a familiar in this deck, but you know what? It is what it is. Our familiar goes to 3/3. We can get right through now in the symbology. The problem with this is obviously, you know, Azorius control has sweepers like Doomscar, which are very clean. and easy removal spells. We do have Spellbinder, so if we don't see a Foretell here, which we probably won't because they want to run the, yeah, I was gonna say they want to run the Environmental Sciences, and on top of that, Doomscar is a 5-drop, so they're 1 turn away from casting it anyways. So they might hold on to it here. We'll see. I hope. Hopefully no Foretelling. All right, cool. Now we get to go look into their hand. I am going to play this land though, just to avoid any sort of Jawari disruption. If I got with that card, it would be really sad. They already grabbed the mascot exhibition too, so they're preparing for endgame already. They go revitalize, okay. Gives me more options to choose from, that's good. All right, definitely the mastery. All right, feels good. Feels good, man. All right, let's get a, ooh, this is actually not bad at all either. Didn't realize I still would have had a mana open there. Nice. Okay, wish I can get double triggers there, but you can only get 1 trigger on the familiar a turn. Would have been nice to get an extra one there, but beggars can't be choosers. Devastating Mastery now very expensive. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 mana. Disdainful Stroke's pretty much a dead card, unless we try to play Showdown of the Skalds, so we got to remember when we play that to be careful here. They shuffle both of those back in their deck. They are life gaining tools. Like, life gain is probably going to be their main game plan at this time. What a time to top deck it when I just said I got to try to avoid the Disdainful Stroke. So we avoid that. Our familiar gets pumped even further. Let's play this. We had no turn 1 or 1 mana spell, so might as well play the tap land now. Play this next turn. Get in there again. Hopefully we survive. I mean, they could have drawn another Doomscar Devastating Mastery here, I'm sure. Ooh, you're saying there's a chance. Let's go. We're in Diamond, baby. Let's freaking go. Dude, Boros Exile Tribal for Diamond. Let's get it. All right, we finally did it, man. It's so much of a relief, man. Anytime the ranks reset, I'm in this room grinding for hours trying to get that platinum to diamond, and it's hard to, you know, try to record without being in diamond at least, and so happy I made it. Such a relief, such a relief. We got a great starting hand again, so I mean, I can't argue with the starting hand. We're gonna keep this all day. Familiar into the impulse. I haven't been getting that good of a start very often, so I'm surprised that as soon as I hit record, we're getting our best possible starting draws. Azorius control again though? That's pretty brutal. Oh, it's not. It's not Azorius control. Let's get a land. Please give me a land. Oh, I get absolutely got by my own decision. Oh man, I could have killed that, but instead I was a goofball. I thought if we could have just got 1 land, either or, a red or a white source, we could have either hit it with the Portable Hole or the Spikefield Hazard. Instead, we whiff on the lands and get destroyed. So we're looking for a land here so I can play both of these out next turn. Dang, that Drake should definitely be dead. That Drake's no joke either. I don't know if anyone's familiar with this Drake, but basically if they target it with any sort of spell, they're just going to be drawing cards. And this typically would mean that they're running Magecraft. Typically. That's what I've seen the most of. But all right, so they give it haste and draw a card, giving it 1-0. That's not a big deal. I'm guessing Fading Hope is in our future here, but I'm gonna go for the Brutal Cathar. I'm gonna try to get the most out of our exile that we're about to lose. Nice, no Fading Hope. Okay, definitely thought I was gonna get Fading Hope there. Interesting, our opponent's got like 20 cards in hand. I wonder what they're holding here. They've got to have some sort of instant speed stuff if you're running the Drake, I would assume, right? Like, it's a good card, but not good enough, my friend. Not good enough. I honestly feel a little bad because, like, I know how it feels to get like runner like exiling effects put on you, and that's all this deck does, is just brutally exiles everything you try to put on the board. GG. All right, that poor fella never stood a chance, and we made a mistake too. We could have easily Spikefield Hazard early, but this deck is brutal, man. I don't want to run into control or mono black. Those two decks, you know, those are doozies for us for sure. All right, we've got a nothing till turn 3, but we do go first. I wouldn't typically keep this on you know, on the draw, but on the play, we'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do. And it's mono black, just like I said, that's the one deck we didn't want to see. This deck is just hard to beat because you don't really want to waste all your big, you know, all of our exiling effects are almost all 3-drops, right? And we don't want to play a 3-drop just to exile 1/1/1, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's mostly what their deck's made up of. And then they've got planeswalkers that are hard to hit that we need really specialized things like borrow time for. So it's tricky, man. It is tricky. And they run sweepers. Like, it's the trifecta of problematic for us. I have a feeling we're gonna see wedding announcement here. I've been seeing a lot of that card. I mean, a lot of it. Nothing, huh? That's kind of odd. Gonna play the Elite Spellbinder here. We're gonna see what their hand's looking like. I need to see what's going on. I can't sit here and play this guessing game. Ooh, they should have waited to do that. They could have killed the Elite Spellbinder, but now they give me more to choose from. They have another Deadly Dispute. That's what's holding priority here. Because they can sack a treasure. Alright. Yep, it sure was. Alright, so Meathook Massacre. Probably the first thing I want to grab. We're going to need another Spellbinder ASAP. Typically, we can outrace a Meathook Massacre if we have a good start. If we have the familiar into like Aspirant and, you know, all these exiling effects, typically we can race them. But in this case, they're already set up pretty good. They've already got us beat, and we've only got 2 small creatures out here doing not a whole lot. There's the wedding announcement. We knew that was coming. That's gone forever. I think I'm just gonna try to get bigger. Try to get bigger than our opponent's Meathook. Even though Blood on the Snow is the thing we should really be worried about, but can only worry about one at a time, you know what I'm saying? I don't think we can win this. Yeah, Blood on the Snow is ready to go. If Blood on the Snow hits here, they get back a 1/1 Spirit Illusion token, and they get back what? A Geist? Alright. It's not terrible. They do spit out another 1/1/2 with the wedding announcement. None of that seems too great, to be honest. I mean, it's still amazing against us, though, because you're clearing the entire board. So I gotta rebuild, which is really annoying. A lot of tokens. I think the biggest problem we have here is this, so let's get rid of it. And we can start turning our attention to the tokens with the Brutal Cathars. Meathook Massacre is not looking so great anymore because no matter what they use it to do, whether it's 2, 3, 4, whatever to kill my stuff, they're going to be sweeping their entire side of the field. So I don't think they're going to want to be using that too much. That's a solid target for the Brutal Cathar. Ooh, I kind of want to do this first. So they can't draw any more cards.
Let this be over.
We'll take a little punishment. It's fine. Like I said, Meathook's not looking so hot right now, so. We might just be able to pull this off, guys. I don't know. It's a slow burn, but we might be able to do this. They're down to 2 cards in hand, and like I said, the meat hook not looking so pretty, so we might be okay here. No attacks. If they double block that sucker, then they get back a 4/4 illusion token. Can't have that. Okay, they plan on sweeping up the board or what? This has a Coven ability for 3. They can transform it into a 3/3 lifelink. Ah, okay. That's still a good token for us to grab here. We're fine. But they do draw 2 cards, which feels really bad. We kind of had them on the ropes there, but they get another Deadly Dispute. That's their 3rd dispute. Crazy. The best card in their deck, and they've drawn 3 of them already. It's tough. That's also tough. All right. I am so sorry. Man, I am brutally tired. I'm trying not to pass out on you guys. All right, let's get in there for 2. I don't know. I feel like we're kind of going through the motions in this matchup. I'm pretty sure we're out of this match, but we're gonna keep going until the brakes fall off. All right, they're gonna hit us for 2 on that. They get back their Edgar. We steal their Edgar again. We'll just keep going back and forth until one of us runs out of answers. Probably me, because I'm out of cards in hand. I would like to see maybe a showdown of the Skalds would be nice. What do they have here? Have they played a land this turn? I don't think they have. Yeah, they could play this land. I don't know what's taking them so long to throw that sucker down, but also their land, the Hive, is really going to be brutal for us because we cannot block it because it has Menace. So not too sure how we're going to answer that just yet. All right, let's go with this first. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not good either though. Not exactly good either. All right, we'll take the Brutal Cathar here. I know this is a relevant card. In mono black, it's probably the most relevant card we can have, but I just don't think we can hold on to it when we need the mana. We really need the mana. Time to focus. And that Kaya's gonna minus, and that should do it, man. That should do it. I can go over the top though with our flyer and kill the Kaya. I don't know, man. That's gonna the Hive's gonna activate here, so I think we're done. I think we're toast here. Puts us at 6. We kill the Kaya. They come back and lethal. Yeah. Yeah. We're dead. We're dead. That's all right. I knew this was going to be a bad matchup. I knew it was going to be tough for us, but we had to give it our best shot, you know? And we did, and we held in there. We just ran out of juice. That's all. If we would have found the Scalds, maybe we would have stayed in it, but I don't know. They had 3 Deadly Disputes for a card draw. We couldn't find a single Scald, so I'll take that loss. I mean, it is what it is. I don't know what's taking them so long here, but if you're gonna rope me on the win, then I'm just gonna concede. All right, here we go. It was getting a little hot in the room, so I had to take off the button up, man. It was getting toasty in here. This room gets super hot. All right, we get to go first with the very awkward hand. I'm gonna mulligan that one. That one's not for me, Chief. This one's better. I mean, we have the spike field into the plains, and yeah, we can make it work. I might hang on to the spike field. I may regret throwing that down. We'll see. Let's give it some time. We have some good two drop here, a good 2-drop and 3 potential, so we're looking good. No need to throw the spike field hazard away just yet. And it is going to be a Rakdos deck, so Spikefield Hazard looking pretty sweet. They take Brutal Cathar. That's fine. We get it right back. They're just kind of holding on to it for us, which is nice, but I guess we don't hit a red source though, so gonna have to take Valky with our Skyclave instead. Couldn't find the red source, man. I would really love to have spiked that off the top and just freaking boom, hit him with the hazard. All right, so far pretty simple games. So far, just get in there, get an attack, and wait for our opponent to react here. We might see a Seeker's Chariot. That's a tough one. That's not what I wanted to see at all there. What to do with that? Could go to try to snap up their cat token. They might decide to crew. Let's see. Let's see. We're gonna see a crew here. We do. All right, that's fine. At least they can't ambush us now in an attempt to block. So let's see. Do we want to attack into the Seeker's Chariot with the Aspirant? I don't think I do. Let's get it sent back. I am worried about the Predator. The Predator is going to be a nightmare to deal with. Usually it's a nightmare, but we have so many exiling effects that we handle that card pretty good. Okay, Goldspan. That's probably worse. That's probably a worse card to see. They don't want to crew with it. That makes sense. They get the treasure, you know. All right, let's go for our showdown here. Showdown of the Scalds. We hit nothing. They can't crew here, so let's get in for a wide. See what they got here. Nothing. All right. Brutal Cathar hits the dragon. It doesn't trigger a token or a treasure token, which is nice. Ooh, Path of Peril. Destroy all creatures. Brutal. Well, we have nothing for the Valky. Oh, the Valky is actually going to be a illusion token. Okay. An illusion token. Let's take that. Let's take this. Now they're out of things to do. This place has a land. We need more red sources just in case. And they're gonna have to sweep the board again. Otherwise they're in a bit of trouble. If they kill the apparition though, they do get back a 4/4, which is extremely relevant. That's a pretty good card. That is a pretty good card. All right, let's go here first. See what we hit. Hopefully land and nice land and a playable card. So first things first, we're gonna go here so we can give the 1/1 counter to the Elite Spellbinder. And ooh, what a dirty hand that is. 1/1 counter goes on the Spellbinder, and we go. We probably should have played the Spellbinder first before the Scalds. We would have got 2 1/1 counters on it. That's a W. That's a W. Wow, they gave up. Why wouldn't they just play this? I don't know why they didn't go defensive there. That seems odd to me. Seems very odd to me. But I guess they didn't expect me to get the 1/1 counters. I don't know. GG's though. We'll take the W. I think they got a little excited because they thought, oh, he doesn't have lethal on the way back. We'll get in and get a treasure, and then hopefully play the Seeker's Chariot next turn. I don't know, but good game. Man, Seeker's Chariot is a brutal card for us to get through because we don't have any sort of like sweeping effects, you know? So like, it's tough for us to get through all those chump blockers. It requires so many cards for us to exile the whole shebang. For one card to get 3 permanents that we should care about, you know? I said I wouldn't keep a 3-drop as early as our I said I wouldn't keep a hand where our 3-drop is our earliest spell, but this is not a bad hand though, you know? It's like, but almost no matter what we're playing, we're toast, like unless we top deck perfectly. So I am gonna mulligan this. I'm gonna keep my word. That's a little better. It's a little better. One showdown of the Scald should be enough to get the job done. Mono black is tough. I really hope it's not mono black, man. It is though. Shoot. All right, well, let's try to get this Luminarch down and see if it survives. Nope. Instant speed removal. What is it going to be? Infernal Grasp, hopefully, just so they can take a bit of damage. That's, yeah, that's fine. We'll take that. We'll take that. That's kind of a W. All right, we got an answer for that. If only we had our friend out here. I don't know, man. Do I want to kill it with this, or do I want to just get some value? I'm gonna get some value here. I'm gonna go for the Brutal Cathar, try to get some value on the board so we can get some damage through here. We went second, so our opponent missed their land drops, which means they were really banking on this Shambling Gas and a Deadly Dispute combo, I'm assuming. All right, that's fine. Kind of glad I went with the Brutal Cathar over the Spikefield Hazard, if I'm being honest. Like I said, we get some damage now to come through. We got to be quick. We got to kill them before they can hit that Blood on the Snow, before they can hit those big Meat Hook Massacres. Already they could hit a big Meat Hook Massacre and just destroy us, but I'm hoping they won't. Hopefully they'll be polite enough not to. All right. I don't think I can sit here and allow this to stay on the field. It's just card draw. And as of right now, we've got such a big advantage at the fact that our opponent's missing land drops, which means this might even be pretty relevant. It might be a little greedy of a play, but it could be pretty relevant to avoid, you know, Blood on the Snow sooner than later. Obviously, Meat Hook Massacre is still a big problem right now, but all right, Inscription gets him another treasure. Yikes. All right, showdown of the Scalds gets our familiar bigger. Get some pretty good cards there. The problem though is our opponent here, now that their mana's on tap, they can draw a card in response to the Skullport Merchant being exiled. That's where we find our real issues. They found a land off the top. 4, 5, 6. They can hit Blood on the Snow now. Oh, but it's Professor Onyx. Interesting. And they minus.
Even you can master death.
I don't want to get rid of the familiar here, but it does. If I get rid of the Brutal Cathar the way I want to, they're going to get back another body, which does ultimately protect the Onyx. So we have to make sure we can get to the Onyx here. Spread out the counters the best we can. Try to keep everything as healthy as possible for a Meat Hook, because now the Meat Hook can't hit these 3/3s unless they hit a land. Okay, now they can sweep the board still. All right, we've been avoiding the Meat Hook, and let's hope we can keep it that way. Let's try to keep it that way, man. It's a lot of damage. Are they going to be able to stop any of this? I mean, they do have the hive, right? Oh, I didn't think we actually declared that we were going to attack step yet there. I was like, that was kind of a mistake, but they got that down. Okay, so we're good. At least they kind of showed us prior. Okay, yeah, we got it. That was a tricky game. We avoided some of the more key spells though. Mono black is tough, man. We avoided that Blood on the Snow. We avoided that Meat Hook Massacre and ultimately got the win, but that's always a scary matchup for us, man. All right, we got time for a little bit more here. We're cruising, man. We are feeling so good right now. So good. This deck is actually a lot more powerful than I thought initially. When I first made it, it was kind of a meme. And I'm not gonna lie, it started as a meme. It really did. It had some really memey cards in it. But then I was like, you know, I'm gonna get serious. I'm gonna actually see if I can take this to Diamond. Because nothing else seemed to be working. Mono white and mono green, they were great. Obviously, they're kind of the meta deck, right? But meta decks don't seem to work too well for me right now. And I don't know why. I don't know what's going on, but I needed something a little off meta that kind of fought the meta. And this is something I think does a really good job of that. All right, that's tough. We're gonna have to let that attack, which is gonna give them extra mana here. Borrowed Time's gonna hit their Tovolar though. I've got to imagine that's the next card they're gonna play here. I just headbutt my mic. All right, here comes Tovolar, but they don't play Tovolar right away, which means they missed their land drop, because they definitely would have played Tovolar before attacking. That way they can get the card draw. Okay, never mind. I don't know anything. I know nothing, Jon Snow. Do we just try to get bigger than them here, or do we go for the Borrowed Time? I think I'm gonna go try to just get bigger than them. No snow mana, right? Okay. So Blizzard Brawl is not going to be a thing, but Inscription of Abundance is going to be a thing. So we could end up losing one of these here, but they would lose something too, though. So I'm cool with that. I am cool with that. I think we're going to play defense. Werewolves is a very aggressive list, and they went first, so we've got to play defense here for a little while. For a little while. Are they going to attack? Because if they are, that seems like a trap. Okay. Am I being bamboozled here? Inscription of Abundance could give 2/1/1 counters. I'm not going to get bamboozled here. Forget that. Forget that. If you're going to Inscription, do it straight up and let's fight. I'm not going to have you put 2/1/1 counters on your creature and just body me. That would stink. Yeah, you could tell they're a little confused. They thought we were gonna block for sure. There's the Abundance. Okay, they were able to kick it. Oof, I didn't think they had enough to kick it. That's tough. That is tough. All right. Well, let's go take a look at their hand. You know what? Let's do that. Let's take a look at their hand. See what's going on here. I don't mind the pack leader coming down next turn. We got some exile for that, so let's just keep getting bigger. No attacks. They could just pump their ranger class here for 2 and then get in with the 4/4 wolf, unless we're willing to, you know, double block it, which is a potential thing we could do. Okay. Are they gonna spread the love here actually? Are they gonna go on the naturalist? Because then I'll trade with the spellbinder and the wolf all day. Alright. Interesting. Alright, so I kind of want to double block. I have a feeling they're gonna get rid of the oh, they can get kill both. That's fine. Okay. Double blocks are fine. We have another Luminarch, and they alt that, huh? They didn't play any spells. It's tough. All right, hopefully we can find a easy answer for this. Glass casket. No glass casket, but let's turn this back into a regular human. Got to play a second spell there. All right. They can play off the top of their deck now. That's a big yikes. Might need a Borrowed Time, the Ranger class. Man, we are just on the back foot right now, just trying not to die. Trying our best not to get ran over here. That's pretty good. And they get the mana that they need to get down the werewolf pack leader, which is tough. That's a simple, clean answer. I like that. Okay, so first things first. We play you, because we're going to get 1/1 counters, right? Then we play you. Take this. We play you. Another 1/1 counter. Take this. One more 1/1 counter. Now we trade with the Werewolf Pack Leader if they want to get froggy. Tovolar. Ouch, man. So many good card draw engines. Another Naturalist. Yeah, we're too far behind. They just got too much value coming at me right now. Too much value. It's a good creature, but not good enough. Not good enough. Let's hang on to this land and just try to pretend like we might have something cool to do. Well, we really don't. Maybe we could scare them a little bit. Doubtful though. All right, so they take their turn off just to pump the Ranger class. That's nice. So they're willing to offer a trade here, so they can get down their Werewolf Pack Leader. I'm gonna not block this time. I think we can get bigger with the Familiar and get more value out of it. Hopefully we can get like a Brutal Cathar off the top or something. It's a land. That's not gonna do it. That is not gonna do it. But you know what? That was fun, man. I had a lot of fun with that deck. It was kind of an easy grind to diamond, to be honest. It was a long grind, but once we dialed this deck in, it got a lot easier. So I'm really happy with how it ended. But let's go ahead and break this thing down. That's gonna do it for today's gameplay footage, guys. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I really appreciate it so much. And if you made it this far into the video, I also appreciate that as well, because if you made it this far, algorithm on YouTube loves to see the watch time. They'll push my videos out to more people, the more people that stay longer into the video. So thank you for that. Really do appreciate it. With that being said, let's talk about the list, man. I really enjoyed this one, and I had a blast with it. And I'm kind of sad to see it go. I've been playing it all the way from bottom of platinum through, and so switching decks is going to be tough for me now. Now that I've really got this thing honed in, and we're not 100% done with it yet, but it still feels really amazing, and it seems pretty powerful. But let's talk about some potential changes you can make with this deck and still have a lot of fun with it, and maybe even make it better. So there's a lot of really good exiling effects or exiling type cards that play really well with this deck. You could run it started out, there's actually one particular card, this one right here, the Olenbrock. This card is the whole reason I built this deck, and then it didn't even make the cut because it was very memey, but at the same time I had a really cool idea for this. It just didn't quite pan out. So the original build of this deck had the Olenbrock, and it also had let's see here, haste. It also had, I'm sorry about this, I should have been more prepared on the names. I always forget card names. Stormbreaker or Stormseeker. Stormseeker paired with the Olenbrock was pretty sweet because you get the Stormseeker in, and typically your opponent doesn't typically remove the Stormseeker right away. It just gets in for its 3 damage, and then they kind of are like, you know what, that's not a priority right now, and they typically kind of overlook it, which then leads us into playing Olenbrock the following turn, giving the Olenbrock haste, and then by the time that Olenbrock's in, hopefully there's some bigger creatures on the field like Luminarch Aspirant giving things 1/1 to counters, and it gets in and starts exiling things instantly, and that can be really helpful. And if you get 2-3 triggers on it, it gets pretty out of hand, and the fact that it keeps training too is pretty brutal. So that was kind of the first iteration of the deck, and it didn't do bad. I mean, it was a 50-50 deck. It was like winning some, losing some, but we also had Sigrid in this deck. This card was pretty cool for a while, but a full play set of these kind of didn't work out so well for us towards the end. But this is a flash human, and it gets in and it basically takes your opponent's attackers, exiles them, and then it can flash block for first strike, which is pretty sweet. Typically though, that dream scenario almost never happened because we were trying to be the more aggressive deck. You could attack in and then use Sigrid to exile blocking creatures, but then the blocks have already been declared and the damage doesn't get through, so that was a little awkward. So we tried that out for a while. That wasn't it. That wasn't doing as much as I would have liked it to do. But there are a lot of really cool things you can do in this deck, man. There's so many different, if you see, there's just so many different exiling effects. We tried this card out for a while where, you know, it'd get down on turn 2, and then on turn 3 we would tap it, exile a card off the top of our deck, play it, which transforms it into a stronger creature and triggers the familiar, and we get a little bit of card advantage. That was pretty cool. It actually worked a little bit better than I thought it would. but it still didn't make the cut over the Reckless Impulse for me personally. If you're running more spells, like if you're running a ton of spells, you know, you could do things like, you know, the Adversary and get some value that way. We've also tried the Hospitality, which gives, you know, your opponent, you make your opponent exile a card off of their deck. We steal that card, we can use it. This card I still really want to try and get to work in this deck. I think this card is really cool, and in this deck could be pretty freaking sweet, but I still haven't got it to work very well, to be honest with you. So those are just some crazy ideas that you guys can do with this deck. I've tried almost all of them, landed on this. This is the most consistent version I've put together, and it's been a lot of fun and easy to win with. So I know you'll have success with it, but if you guys want to let me know if you have any ideas on how to make it better, definitely leave it in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts about the deck. And yeah, man, that's going to conclude today's video. A little bit of housekeeping so you guys know. The new set comes out on Thursday, so you'll get this video today. You'll get a video on Wednesday, and I think after that you'll see a video Friday, and from Friday you should get a 7-day period of just videos nonstop until the following week, because we have a lot of things we got to do with Kamigawa. But after Kamigawa is over and we've kind of settled into that, I'm going to start a new schedule up. We're gonna do hopefully some more videos for you guys. I'm gonna try my best. Every time I say that, and I have these thoughts of like getting 5 videos out for you guys a week, something almost always comes up on the weekend with my family, and not able to do it. So I don't want to do it until I can commit fully and really give you guys a committed schedule. So we tried out the YouTube shorts, so got some good feedback, got some mixed feedback. Some people didn't like it, some people did. So I think we're gonna not do that anymore, but I am considering doing the 5 videos a week. But after Kamigawa hits, we do our 7-day period where we do a weekly, you know, everyday video. After that, I'll decide fully on what it is, the direction the channel is gonna go. But for now, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday this week, like usual. I hope you guys enjoy the videos, man. And before I hop out of here, huge shout out to the Marty Mob. I really appreciate you guys so much. I really can't tell you how much, you know, how deep my appreciation goes for everything you guys do for my channel. You guys know this. I say it at the end of every video, and I want to just make sure I make it very clear all the time that you're not underappreciated, that I think about you guys constantly, about how much you help the channel out and what you guys do for me. So thank you so much. And yeah, if you guys want to become a Marty Mob member today and help support the channel, you can hit the join button down below or the link in the description. Either one is good, and it will tell you all about what it is exactly. But thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you, and we'll see you on the next video. See you Wednesday. Till next time, peace.
Hit him 3 times like a hat trick. The name is Swayze, no Patrick. If you play him, then it's tragic. Hit him with the mythic, yeah, that's magic. Yeah, MTG, that's what you'll see if you like and subscribe. Where's the upload, man? Man, all of the time. Coming with the best decks, this is the meta. This ain't